What's up, everybody? What's going on? I hope everybody had a wonderful evening. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. So, you saw the title. I took some notes, some things that I wanted to say to everybody. Um, Thank you guys for being so supportive of this channel. I appreciate you. But I want to see if I could find this. Yesterday, someone sent me a message on my channel, and let me see if I could find it. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. And this individual keeps telling us over and over, that they have been going through hell at the hands of the CPS social worker. So maybe I should try to go to my page and find the message. Hold on a second. Let me see. I ain't trying to sing, y'all. Let me shut up. Hold on a second. Let me find yesterday's video. Oh, I knew I should have done something. You might hear some background noise. You might even hear my phone ring because I keep telling folks when I go live, don't call me because I'm in the midst of doing something. But folks don't listen. Nobody listens today. You say, hey, such and such, I'm on the live, and I need you to like not call me. Okay, so let me see if I can blow this up before I show it to you. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me see. So yesterday, and this lady has been reaching out, and I totally, respect her for like trying to get help, but it seems like nobody is pretty much answering her questions, and that's the wrong screen. Let me try again. Okay, let me try it again. Let me try it one more again. So I hate when I mess up, but it is what it is. You learn as you go. So let me see if I could find it. No, 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 no. Let me get out of that. Okay, there it goes. Cool. Okay, so this lady, Miss Amy, has been sending me messages, and I don't have an email for her. I've been asking her to email me so I could possibly let her get on the live in order to speak her piece. And so I did message her back. Hold on a second. So you're going to see my response. Okay. And she said parents could actually teach these demonic people a few things. They are a huge protected empire. The devil has their back, and God has ours. We are surviving while our children are suffering. I have heard from kids in the system say if they had stayed in their parents' homes, and she said even with just the emotional abuse, these are what the kids are saying, they would have turned out better had they not been put through the system. I'm fighting for a child my husband and I raised. We're not her biological parents, but she lived with us for almost 6 years at 5 days a week, was given everything was given everything she could ever need, want from a family, and it's coming up on 2 years on June the 17th of this year. I guess that's when they took the baby away from her, like 2 years ago, which is crazy. Okay, they stood in my house when she was taken and said, "Get certified, and you can get her back." Um, I now know they were just creating a diversion so that they could buy themselves time to corrupt these kids. And we went through this process, and got our home opened up. So when she said opened up, that means she got her house certified, only to be told 2 days later that our home was being closed and they were putting an extension on my certification. Wow. So it's not just sitting there open. Wow, that's crazy. When I ask why, see, when you ask them why, they get pissed off, you guys, right off the bat. They feel like I'm in control. You can't ask me nothing. And if you ask me something, you're out of order. So I was told the caseworker was not willing to give the child back to us at this time. Imagine my heart being ripped out all over again. And this is not from anything we did either. It was her older half sister saying her father had, touched her, and her sister and her youngest half sister was assaulted. They wanted 5 days to get these children to checked out. Okay, so they waited 5 days to get these children checked out by a doctor. That's something that should have taken place immediate. You don't wait for a child, because in between that time you have to bathe that child. You know what I'm saying? So if this man had intercourse, then you wash away the evidence as you're bathing these kids. You're not going to leave the child filthy, dirty, and stinking. You know what I'm saying? So this is a ball dropper right here. I don't understand where these people heads are, to me. Okay, they did not say, excuse me, they did not take any computers, laptops, phones, etc. That's what any normal human being would think, right? Well, no, they don't, or didn't in this case. And I just about lost my she about lost her mind when I found out that that judge in his case, wait, when I found out that the judge in this case had been messaging the birth mother privately through Messenger yesterday. Oh my God, what the flip? You right. How is that even legal? It's not. I could sit here and type all day and tell the stacks of lies these people, non-human beings, have said, done, and told me. My husband, the mother of the half sister, and other family members, the endless shit show I call it. So that's what this individual wrote me, and I'm like, this is absolutely bonkers. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry, you guys. I had a persistent caller. I'm so sorry. Like I said it in the beginning, I tell people that I'm doing a live if I don't answer you the first time, but it's like they keep calling back, so it kind of throws me off, and I definitely apologize for the pause and the break in the stream. So let me see, where was I? So yeah, this is what she's been sending me, and I told her that I wanted her to come live. So I put, if you would like to be a guest on my panel, you are more than welcome. Just don't say too much where they will attempt to use it against you, and I put my little broken heart emojis. So you have to be careful, especially when you get angry with these people and you speak up. They will definitely come after you. Welcome to whoever's in the chat. Sorry I didn't see you, but yeah, they definitely get pissed off at you when you don't when you question them back or say something or do a live. So I'm about to get read some of the notes that I took, and I'm gonna be popping back and forth in and out of the screen. So one of the things that I put up there is know your rights. And one of the things is a part of your rights is your right to remain silent. If you talk too much to the CPS worker, it takes away your element of surprise for them. It gives CPS more to work with. It is best to stay silent because you could be in your emotions. And what they like to do is they like to pretend to be your buddy, your friend, your pal, oh pal. That is one of the tactics that they use. They learn this technique, to get you to relax and to calm down And one thing you got to remember, and I'm going to say it again later on in my live, they are not your therapist, they're not your psychiatrist, they're none of those things. So you got to remember, you're not talking to somebody that has your best interest at heart. So let me continue. Okay, so I strongly suggest that you remain silent when dealing with CPS and immediately contact a CPS lawyer or an advocate who is experienced in helping people to fight CPS. Even though this may be considered a civil case and not a criminal case, at this point, the CPS worker or police have no authority to come into your home and remove your children. Please do not say anything, because anything you say can and will be used against you in court. They need you to say as much as possible. They need you to do the most outrageous stuff so that they can come on and start adding to their case. Don't allow them to use you as a victim. Don't be set up. Don't become prey, because that's exactly what they will do. They will get you, and they will get you to talking and talking and talking, and next thing you know, you have talked so much that you dug a hole, and they have this whole book against you, you know. And like I said, first of all, you want to record your whole interaction with them, so you be silent. They have nothing. If they come up to you and something happened, and like most of the time, like when the police come to a scene and they say what happened, nobody's speaking. They can't do nothing because nobody is saying anything. So they have to pretty much let that situation go, especially if there was a fight that broke out and the police were called. There's no video footage and nobody is talking, nobody is saying anything. They can't arrest anybody because guess what? There's no evidence, there's no proof. So that's what you need to be: no evidence and no proof when they come and approach you. So don't be an easy target. I'm telling you, it's going to help you in the end. In many cases, what you say may be twisted to make the allegations and the case stronger against you. So, why would you give him or her the evidence he or she is looking for? Why would you do that? Why would you seal your own faith? Some people, like my pastor used to say, some people are by nature what she calls chatty Cathys. They can't help it. They got to talk. But I got to say this, but I got to clear my name. But you have to hear what I'm saying. No, it's important you hear what I'm saying. And she gonna sit there like, okay, keep talking. And she gonna keep right on writing. That's exactly what she's going to do. She's going to keep right on writing because you have something in you that you absolutely have to justify your behavior. You absolutely have to justify and prove that you are innocent of any allegations. Keep your big mouth shut. Put some glue on your lips. Sew your lip, not literally, but be quiet. You don't have to say everything and anything. These people are here to get information out of you so they can twist it up. There were other messages sent to me via email where people were saying that, they asked me a question and I said one thing and that one thing became a paragraph. And they were like, dang, I wish I would have known to keep my mouth shut and not said nothing. Well, that's because we are so accustomed and we have been groomed, so to speak, to defend ourselves. That's the way we are. If somebody say something about us, our first reaction is to defend ourselves, defend our character, defend our honor, to set somebody straight, to give them a piece of our mind. That's how we have been groomed, and we don't need to be like that. We need to just sit back and shut our mouths and listen and search and kind of what they say, survey this area, do a surveillance of your own, check out the vibes, be quiet, relax, sit back. If they put on the paper, oh, she was too relaxed, what's so wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me being too relaxed? Anything that they can do, if they find you to be relaxed and in control, that's a threat for them because they have nothing to use against you. As long as you don't come off as this arrogant know-it-all, you're safe. Don't come off with this condescending attitude and you just all that and as they say, a bag of chips and everything else, because that will be used against you too. They will write that you were difficult, you didn't want to listen, all these things. And then if that's the type of person that you are, of course, as soon as you get in church, Lord have mercy, thank you, Jesus. As soon as you get in court, that same old behavior is going to show. That's why it's best, like, a lot of people know what's going on. Like, for instance, and I don't mean to throw this in there, like, for instance, I'm saying this for a reason. Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez got a situation that took place. Everybody is coming up with their own assumptions on what happened. I even threw my dumb 2 cents in when I should have kept my mouth shut. That's what I mean by people assuming. I should have kept my mouth shut on the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation because I wasn't there. So what happens is Tory Lanez is very confident in him saying, I didn't do anything. Okay? He's very confident. I didn't do nothing. So because he wanted to speak his piece, Meg Thee Stallion keeps running back and forth to court to make him shut up. So now what she's doing is hanging herself because I don't know if she's speaking in terms of trying to piece everything together, or if she is not being truthful, or if she is contradicting herself. I don't know what it is. I can't say. Certain people handle things in a different light. They may ask you what happened at the scene. You may say you've seen this thing, and then I may say I've seen something different. So everybody sees everything in a different light. Whatever it is, the truth is going to come out. So what I'm saying is Meg Thee Stallion is hanging herself because she's running her mouth. And all this information, all these interviews that she's doing is going to be used against her in a court of law. That's what I'm saying to you. When you get in front of CPS, don't run your mouth so much to the point where you hang yourself. Anything you say, they're going to use it. They don't care. They're looking, when they come to your house, they have one goal in mind. And I need you guys to understand the only goal they have in mind is to snatch your kids up out of that house and place your kids somewhere else. That is their only goal for you. And you need to understand that. That's why yesterday I said, if you find yourself in the middle of an investigation, privatize all your social media platforms. I don't care if your best friend from way back when is a part of your social circle. Privatize your social network. Privatize it. Nobody can get in. Don't let nobody come in. Only you can see it. And then go through your timeline and start looking and seeing what you have on there that they may try to use against you, which was innocent fun to you. They could turn it into something devastating in court. So be careful what you're putting on the internet. It don't matter how many years ago it was. If you got pictures of you lighting up a marijuana stick and drinking and cussing and throwing up gang signs and acting a fool, and then one day, 5, 10 years down the road, you forgot you got that on your timeline, and somebody called CPS on you, they are going to go back as far as the first day you set that page up, and they're going to scour that page, and they're going to grab all the pictures, all your posts, all your videos, and when you go and they talk to you, you're going to be like, wait a minute, who told on me? People, when we get on social media and do all these sorts of things, we tell on ourselves. We run our mouths. We show out too much of our lives on the internet. We say, for instance, oh, I'm going on vacation. I'll be gone for 12 days. Guess what? The burglar, the crook that has a bad intention for you, he knows that you're going to be gone for 12 days. So guess what? He's going to break in your house, rob you. And when you come back 12 days later, you're going to be like, how did somebody know I was gone? Because you posted it on your page. Stop posting everything on your page. Shut up. Stop posting your kids on your page. Do you know that there are predators out there that are looking and they can figure out where you're at? You think that you're being so secretive about hiding where you are. There are predators that knows maps. They know geographical locations. They studied that stuff. So they can find out where you are. That's why I tell people when I get a chance to stop posting, stop showing what you got, stop showing where you're at. Stop. Your life is your business. It's not everybody's business to know your next great moment. If you want somebody to know your next great moment, call them and personally send them a picture, a video, something to show your next great moment. Don't put it on social media because it's like this. If you say you have a social media page and you're under investigation and you privatize it to your friends only, and your friends, like I said yesterday, have an open page where anybody could become a friend, that social worker will go through your friend's page and get into your page because you are friends with that person, and they will gather the information that they need. You need to go through your page almost every year or 6 months and look back and see what should be there and what you should erase. If you've had any internet wars with anybody, you need to figure out how to get that stuff removed. Maybe talk to the person that you got into it with and ask them if they can please remove it off the page because you guys have resolved the issue. Because if they see you guys going back and forth, talking crazy, internet gang banging on each other, they're going to say that child is not safe in that home. That this person is unstable. Look at the words that they used in this text to their friend. They threaten their friend. So when they get angry, they use violence as a mean to solve issues. So because of this, we don't think it's best that that child go back into the home. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect your children. Like I said yesterday, if your children are old enough to be on the internet and they have a disagreement, you train them and teach them not to take their ills and their woes and they all those things against you and what's going on in the household to the internet, because they will go to your child's page and they will see the things that your children wrote, and they will come after you and say, look, you guys could have long resolved the issue, but guess what? You gave them the ammunition that they need. And I gave an example yesterday where you have a little girl and your daughter asked you, hey, mom, can I go to this party? And you say, no, you can't go because you don't have a good feeling about it. So then she gets on the FaceTime. She calls her friend, and I believe there's a way you can record it. And so she tells her friend, oh, my mom won't let me go. She's always mean to me. You know, she doesn't treat me right. She never gives me anything that I need or anything that I want. And all of a sudden, you know, the friend is like, wow. So the friend's mom walks by, listen and hear exactly what you guys are talking about. And then she gets concerned that all she hears is that the mother does not take care of her child. The child is not being given the things that are necessary to function on an everyday life. And so that mother ends up, out of being a concerned mom, calls CPS, and there you go. A whole bunch of mess for nothing over a misunderstanding because your kid caught an attitude. So with that being said, get off of social media platforms and stop telling everybody your business and your whereabouts. Okay, so now here, standing up and fighting for your rights. To be very, very clear, nobody at CPS gives a darn about you or your rights. So you can stand up and speak out all you want to, but make sure you know your rights. Be firm about your rights. Make sure that you have a lawyer there to, speak with you and for you. That will be there to represent you is the word I'm trying to say. But it seems like the courts are going back to the CPS worker and they're going to back them up. And that's why you need a CPS attorney or a CPS advocate that knows how to help you win your case. Okay. The police may even be there to back CPS up when they have to talk against you. Remember, when the police comes with the CPS worker, they have on a body camera. So if they catch you acting a fool, that camera and that footage can be used against you. That's why I say when they come knocking at your door, whether you have a cell phone, whatever device you have that is used to be that is able to be a recording device, video that is not audio, because some people would do something crazy like audio record. No, video record. When you video record and they say that you did all these things, a lot of CPS workers do not want you to put a video camera in their face because they know that they're coming to do no good. Do not ever tell a CPS worker that they are a corrupt, because they will begin to enact revenge on you. Don't ever get on social media. Don't go on there and start speaking negative about the worker. Don't say nothing negative about them. Don't post about this supervisor. Don't get on there and get a bashing party going, because if you get a bashing party going, they're going to organize something against you. Don't even organize a protest or start an anti-CPS page. It might not be a good idea at this point, because right now you need to focus on your kids, and getting on these social platforms will take your focus off of what you're supposed to really do. And you're there to get your kids back, not there to be rallying and being on the internet for hours and hours and hours, because then you what have you accomplished being on these groups and y'all bashing? Now, if you're on these groups and you're teaching each other how to organize paperwork, how to keep things in order, to encourage one another, things of that nature, that's better. You can do something like that, but don't spend too much time on the internet with that. Have a designated time in which you do have internet time to get in these groups, and all about encouragement, no negativity. I don't want no woe is me stories. If you want to tell us something negative, then we're going to have to take it to a different platform, or maybe we have to all FaceTime and privatize it so that we can help one another out. But don't get on social media on your Facebook page and start talking crazy and telling them, oh, I can't handle it. Oh, don't do that. They're writing down everything. They're searching and looking for any and everything. Nobody is safe, you guys, and I'm being real with you. Now, a lot of people think, oh, no, no, no. But yesterday, I got on another platform, and I didn't know the guy that was speaking, and I can't remember. I have to look up the platform, and I want to play my voice on there, but I'm not going to do it today. And so I was speaking because they allowed, I know who it is, but I can't say her name out right now because I can't remember the full name. Miss Carol. She let her nephew get on and run the channel. And so I got on and I started speaking because he was asking about friends. And so I began to tell them how friends will call CPS on you once they get into an altercation. And so when I started speaking, he was like, wow, my goodness, girl, you know a lot. And I felt good because my research is paying off. The things that I'm saying, he said, I've been a CPS worker for years. And the things that you're saying, he said, I would love to get you on my radio show. I will definitely get on there and speak, because it needs to be spoken. It needs to be said. People need to know what's going on. So let me continue with what I was saying. I don't want to get sidetracked. Okay. So don't get up there and start I hate my CPS worker group. Don't get up there and post her phone number. Don't post her address. Don't post what kind of car she's driving. Don't post what she looks like. That is not going to help you. That is going to be held against you, and it's going to make your situation a whole lot worse. One thing we all need to know is that CP workers will try to get you to trust them. They will act like they are trying to sympathize with you, but they use sympathizing techniques to try to convince you that they are not a threat to you, or they will try to say things like, it seems that you are like they are concerned about your feelings and showing sympathy, and they're not there. Not for that. They're not. And they use things like, oh, I know how you feel. Really, I do understand. And they may even tell you a story that happened to somebody they knew that sounds close to your story. It could be a made up story. And then here you are falling into it. It sounds like you, and they'll say, oh, it sounds, are you feel stressed? It sounds like you have your hands full. Sounds like you're having a hard time juggling things around. And then you answer yes. You get yourself in trouble. And then all this is done to get you to trust them so that that you will let your guards down and give you a false sense of feeling safe by telling you their story. You get what I'm saying? They'll tell you a story and then they want to get you to tell them your story. Pay attention and don't be fooled, you guys. Don't be fooled by the sweet talk. It's almost like a guy trying to woo and swoo you and con you and do everything that he can to get with you. And then once he get with you, bam. Once he gets what he wants, he's out of there. So you got to think of them as the same type of people. Once they get what they want from you, it's all downhill from there. They are using building techniques because it can be important at any stage in the game. For example, you have been reported to CPS, and at the initial visit to your home, they try to come in already being manipulative, y'all. Already, they are already manipulative, but they're coming in your home with that exact intent to manipulate you. Their end goal is to try to make you feel as comfortable as possible so that when you open up, they can just take everything down, write it down, and then there it is. You done messed yourself up. You done messed yourself up. And then here's another example that has been seen in the CPS worker. They'll say, let's say for instance, you had a CPS worker, and for some reason that CPS worker is no longer working with you, and they'll come in and they'll know that that CPS worker was horrible. So they're looking at you. They're already sizing your body language up. They already got you figured out, and they already got notes on how you and that person clashed in the past, right? So then they will come in and they'll try to work their magic on you, and they'll say, yeah, I know the last CPS worker you had was very difficult to work with, right? And then you say, yeah, that worker was very difficult to work with. And then you start running your mouth. They're knocking your guards down. They're knocking your guards down. Okay? They are knocking your guards down. So don't allow them to knock your guards down. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say, "Oh, guess what though? I'm nothing like your last worker. I understand. I heard she was a bit of a problem. This is another technique they use because they want you to lower your guards. Yeah, we really didn't care too much for her in the office. She was one of those people that was always keeping stuff going. And then you go, yeah, yeah, and then you feed into it. Don't be fooled by these people. It's all a game. It's all a game. Okay? We have to remember, even if a CPS worker seems to be nice, remember he or she is a CPS worker, period. At the end of the day, all CPS workers will have to do their job no matter what takes place. They're going to do their job. They have a job to do, and they're going to do it. And you got to be aware of those techniques. You absolutely have to be aware. Don't be so guarded. Don't be so uptight that you don't relax and figure out the atmosphere that's happening around you. Okay? Because if you relax, pay attention, don't be so quick to talk, keep your mouth shut, stay focused, pay attention to everything that's going on. It will help you to see what is really going on around you. Okay? It will help you stay on your guard as far as them trying to manipulate you and play games with you. Okay? You got to remember, allegations have been made against you, and you want to stay focused on what those allegations are so you can dispute them specifically without giving them any information that they can use against you. So stay focused. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Stay focused, you guys. Don't get knocked off your feet. Don't get knocked off your feet. Don't get sideswiped. You know what I'm saying? Don't get knocked off your feet because they will definitely play any game to get you caught up. And then by that time, it's absolutely too late because you have given in to the games. Some people out here in this world, if you show they don't have the affection and the attention of people because they don't have people that like hang around them. They're like I wouldn't necessarily say introverts, but some people just don't hang around. They don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to talk to people. Hi, Monica. Oh, hi, Tamaya. They don't know how to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? And so when somebody showed them some attention, then they go buck wild crazy and start opening up and start talking too much. It's almost like I said earlier, a girl that never really got any attention, and so the cute boy in the school, the cutest boy in the school, decides he wants to talk to her, but he has one goal in mind, and that's to get in that cookie jar, right? So he talks to her, and she's like, oh my God, just so giddy and retarded, not paying attention. She's so captivated by him being the most popular, the cutest boy in the school, that she tells him any and everything, every type of thing to use against her in order to get into the cookie jar. Instead of her saying, "Why this dude coming to talk to me? I don't. Everybody done told me all this time that I'm unattractive and I'm not cute and my shape ain't right. And this most popular dude, the star football player, why he coming to talk to me?" Hmm? You gotta ask those questions. Slow it down and ask those questions. What did he want from me? So he's talking to you and saying all this nice stuff. Then you stop and you say, "Hold on a second. A couple days ago, you were sitting over there in the popular area clowning me. Now all of a sudden, you over here whispering sweet nothings in my ear. What you want?" And he gonna get guarded. Why are you acting like that? And you have already exposed him to himself. So now he got to retreat. So you do the same thing to the CPS worker when they come all sweet and kind and loving, and I'm your friend, the fool la la. Nuh-uh, stay on your guard. Don't open your mouth. Keep your mouth shut. Don't be a chatty Cathy. Pay attention. Listen. Understand. Research what the allegations are. Get into get on the internet, go to the library, get into them books, call some officers, some police officers, somebody that knows. But mainly you want to get a CPS worker or a CPS advocate. I mean, a lawyer or a CPS advocate. Somebody that works in the legal field, not somebody that works with CPS, but you want to get a CPS advocate, which is the same, almost the same as a CPS attorney. They can give you some instructions and direct you, but they cannot. I don't know if they can represent you in court because I don't want to lie and say they can't. I don't know. They might be able to, and I should have looked that up too, and that's my fault. Okay, in fighting, you deal with issues that have been presented to you. Please don't give them ammunition to use against you. Be smart and fight back smart. In fighting smart, it takes work, you guys. Okay? And requires learning. There are websites, there are articles and groups that can help you to do your research. You must be willing to do the work. While doing the work, please keep all of your stuff, your documents, your receipts, your videos, anything that you use or need to use. Keep all those things organized so that you will be prepared to fight them in an appropriate way. Okay? Don't just sit around and do nothing. Help the lawyer out that you have chosen. Give them something to work with. Help them get information that you need in order for them to be able to dispute your case and the claims that were written against you in the reports by the CPS worker. Don't just sit around and say, "Oh, they got it." No, get off your butt and start doing some research. Start checking it out for yourself. Start doing some deep diving. Start asking some questions. Even if you have to look on the internet and see some similar situations that you went through, jot down the meat of the story. Jot down some of the advice that the attorney is given, and then look it up. And that can help your lawyer, because you don't want to have your lawyer doing all the work. That's the problem with people. They get a lawyer and they want the lawyer to do all the footwork, and while they sit there and do absolutely nothing. You have to do something. As just like if you get injured, they tell you you got to go to physical therapy. Okay, now if they find a physical therapist, you can look and say, hey, there's a physical therapist closer to me that can take my insurance, and I won't have to travel so far. That's one thing that's good. Okay, there's a doctor. Well, you're gonna have to go to their surgeon, but you can also find out if that surgeon can do the surgery in a hospital close to you, so that when you come out of surgery, you don't have to be in a vehicle and travel a far distance. These are things that you could do to help out your doctor. So if you are getting medications, keep all the information. Make sure you keep everything, keep it in order. Don't just have a big old giant pile of mess. Keep everything organized, because if somebody in the CPS court or your lawyer asks you for a certain slip of paper that you have gotten from Department of Human Health Services or CPS, you have a binder and a folder with all your stuff in it, and you can go flip to it, and you ain't got to say, oh shoot, let me call you back. And now you flipping through all these papers, and while you're flipping through all these papers, you're messing up other papers. Okay, let me see. Remember, when reports come in to the to the child abuse hotline, that's all they have to go on is an anonymous call, alleged allegations only. That's all they got is an anonymous caller with an alleged allegation against you that may not even be true at all whatsoever. That's all they got. They don't have nothing else. So when they come, don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. Okay? Don't give them any meat. Don't give them any potatoes. Do not give them anything to put on their plate so that they can have something to sup on. Don't do it, because you're going to be hurting yourself. And it's going to be nobody's fault but your own, because you want to run your mouth. Keep your happy lips closed. Sadly, self-esteem is one of the things people will go after to take advantage. Believe God made you exactly the way you are, beautiful. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. That is so true. You have those people that have all the good looks, and they are beautiful. The guys are gorgeous. And people think because these people are absolutely beautiful, these people are gorgeous, these people got a lot of money, they think that these people got it made. A lot of these people, and I saw a documentary on Janet Jackson. I love me some Janet Jackson, and I thought she was the most luckiest woman in the world until she came out with a video and said that dude Renee that she was married to, and I'm saying allegedly because this was out of her mouth, allegedly Renee was whooping her butt and she was making music. Look at Tina Turner. Everybody that did not know her personally thought that she had it made, the perfect life. And Ike Turner was allegedly whooping her butt. Just because somebody is beautiful, that does not mean that they don't have issues like everybody else. We all go through issues. But that's true. That self-esteem is a son of a gun. It is a son of a gun. And people need to realize the only thing that's going to make you happy is you either one or two things: seeking God and trusting in God. That's the only thing that I feel is going to make you happy, because God can do all things. But people don't believe it. They're so stuck and fixated and worried about what the world has to say about them. The world does not define what beauty is. God defines what beauty is. If you 400 pounds and have the most beautiful personality and you can just feel the anointing of God on you, you are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. Society should not be able to dictate, dictate what the word beautiful means. It shouldn't be able to dictate. Okay, so let me continue with this rant that I'm on. So after you get your kids back, and if you want then to start an anti-CPS page or start blogging, make sure 100% that everything has been closed out. The case, the entire case, there's nothing left open. You want to make sure that everything is closed out, because if you move before that case is closed, it could become a very big problem for you. Some people take to social media platforms and become very outspoken, and and so-called activists, and begin to drag their caseworkers. This can cause them to um, lose and have lose and have their parental rights terminated, because you don't tick that person off. You get frustrated over one little thing, and you don't know, because you so quick to pop off. You don't know that this caseworker was just about to close your case out because they couldn't find nothing else on you. So because they not moving fast enough, you just get on social media and you start popping off at your mouth, and being reckless at your mouth, and causing you to lose your kids and have your parental rights terminated. Because don't forget, even when you go to court and they say, okay, we haven't found anything, don't do nothing. Absolutely. Don't even open up your page, your Facebook page, your social media accounts. Don't open nothing while this investigation is going on. Don't open up nothing, period. And then you'll be surprised, you guys, that by you not posting on social media every little detail of your life, getting involved and making comments on everybody's page, all you doing is looking around. They can't say nothing to you for looking around if they can see it. But if you keep your mouth shut, you'll be so surprised that, say for instance, your kids are gone out of the house for 2 years. You haven't posted anything, and all you've been doing is agreeing to things that relate and encouraging, lifting people up, being a part of positivity. That's the only thing they're going to see is like, well, all she's doing is putting out positive stuff. So she's not saying anything nasty. There are no pictures of her. You know, there are Bible scriptures. There are prayers on there. There are cute little emojis on there that's encouraging people. You saying little prayers, not too deep where they think you're a fanatic. Just nice little things here and there, not every single day, but once in a while. You will be surprised how after that you will be like, dang, social media is not even that important to me anymore. And then say, you're posting every once in a while and all they see is positive things, and you're encouraging them. Let's say this. Say for instance, the social worker does get on your page and it's open, and you send out a heartfelt prayer praying for everybody. Just everybody that's in my, everybody that's in my life, no matter how you became a part of my life. I'm praying that God will bless you, and anything that you're concerned about, I ask that God will meet you in that time of need. If you're lacking in finances, if you're having troubles in your home, you're just sending out this prayer. What's to say that CPS worker don't see that prayer, and it touches them, it prick them in their heart. It hits them right in the heart, because they could be going through something very, very serious, a spiritual battle that they didn't even know was considered a spiritual battle. And you put that prayer on your site, and now they're looking at you in a different light, because this is what you've been doing for the past couple of years. And say it takes them another year to close out your case, even though you got your kids back, and you're still posting encouraging things. And you like, today the Lord told me that somebody is having a hard time, and I want to lift them up in prayer. You don't necessarily have to touch the screen, but God said, well, there are 2 or 3 gathered in the midst, there he is. And it may touch that person. They're not going to tell their supervisor that they're on your page, but you might be able to see that they've been on your page lurking, and you're touching their hearts. And let's say your case closed, and say they still keep coming to your page. They may still come to your page because you've been doing nothing but praying and saying things that touch the areas in their life. Those are the things that you should be posting on your page, not you out drinking alcohol, hanging out with the girls, chugging down beer, talking about sexually explicit things, showing your kids in the background while you hot boxing, got the whole house filled with smoke or whatever it is that you're doing. Your house ain't clean, so you doing a video with a dirty house. If your house not clean, you don't have no business doing no type of videos. Clean your house up before you do a video. Because if you have a filthy house and that camera zooms in on the background, they can use that as well. I'm just trying to help some people out, you guys. I'm just trying to help somebody out. Clean up your house before you do a video. Even if you don't want to show your face, put an avatar up like I got. You ain't got to show them everything. If you got a new front lace wig, if you're not doing that type of video, you don't need to show people how much money you holding in your hand and liquor bottles and weed and all that stuff. You showing all that stuff. You asking for CPS to come knocking at your door, and you're giving them an open invitation to take your kids away from you. You have to be careful what you're posting. What you post today could come back and haunt you tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. What you post today could come back and haunt you tomorrow. If you on, like they say, that fans only or only fans and all that stuff, and you are being extremely sexual and showing your body parts and having inappropriate conversations with men, those social workers will sign up to your channel and get videos of you and use that against you. They will even go into your Twitter account. Yep. That's right, Monica. They will go into your Twitter account. They will go into your Instagram account and see what you've been posting. They will go into all your accounts. They don't care if they have to spend $50 to go into your fans only and snatch those videos of you. They will pay for that. They will sit there and pay so that they can keep filming, like videoing you and gathering information against you. And then they're going to say, well, she's into prostitution. I'm not into prostitution. What are these pictures? What are these conversations? Why are you showing your VV? Why are you showing your pillows? Why are you showing your buttocks? Why are you licking your tongue out as though you're doing something explicitly sexual? And where's your kid? Or maybe your kid in the background. You're like, go out of my room. Be quiet. Don't touch this. Don't touch that. And they can hear you telling giving your kid instructions. Your kid is in the house. So, of course, they're going to feel like you're probably going to involve your kid into your ring of prostitution. You don't know what these people can build against you. All I'm saying is please be careful. If you don't listen to me now, you're going to wish that you listened to me later. I'm just being a warning. That's all I'm giving is warnings. I have a young lady that I minister to, and I talk to her and I tell her stuff, and it comes to pass. It happens. It happens. I don't talk out the side of my neck. People, I don't have to know you. I don't have to know anybody on this platform. I don't care to know any of you personally, but I care to love on you and pray for you and to help you. I don't care if I don't know you personally. You still do the same things I do. You still have blood pumping through your body. You breathe the same air that I breathe. You put your pants on one leg at a time. You have to go potty just like I do. If somebody cut you or you accidentally cut yourself, when I say cut you, if they cut you, it could be an accident. Nothing violent. But if they accidentally have something and you walk by it and they cut you by accident, you're going to bleed the same color blood I'm bleeding. And we need to know the difference. We need to know that we're all the same no matter what. I care about everybody. Sure, you may make me mad, but I'm not going to hold it against you forever. And this is why I'm saying we should be able to agree to disagree. We shouldn't be so mad at people because somebody didn't do what we wanted them to do, or the boyfriend broke up with you. Hold on a second. Zoom is not our friend. When you're trying to hide something, be careful. Like Together We Break Chains is giving an amazing word. Thank you, baby girl. You can't hide nothing. Like Monica said, nothing is hidden. There is nothing hidden under the sun that won't be found out. You think that you put up something on the internet and you erase it? Do you not know that somebody's going to take a snapshot of that and post it? There's been countless and countless of people that have posted things on the internet and they thought that they got rid of it in a timely manner, and somebody else turned around and was already video screen recording, and bam. How did they get that footage? You're not that quick. We're not that slick. There's somebody out there always waiting for an opportunity to expose something in someone. There's always an opportunity. So you need to be very, very careful. And I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. I'm just giving a warning. This is what I'm doing. I'm warning you. You have to be careful. The social media platforms, with an S, platforms, any of them, they are not your friend. I don't care if you go overseas and use all those different platforms across the ocean. If you post something, it can follow you back to America and bite you straight in your butt. You're not sneaky. We're not slick. The internet, Facebook was originally created for people to find lost family members. That's what it was originally created for. And I was blessed to have found my family member that I lost contact with. We were able to find one another. That's what Facebook was originally intended for. But people will take something that was supposed to be intended for good and they will flip it so quick, and it will turn so bad and so ugly. Like OnlyFans was not intended for people to get up there and do a strip show. That's what it was not intended for. So what did they do? They had to tell people, if this is what you have been doing as of last year, they stopped people from making that money doing that. If they see any pornographic anything on there, they're going to snatch your channel. Because it wasn't meant for that. It was a different platform for you to put your content on. But people got on there and got buck wild, crazy, and nasty. Some people do the same thing on Discord. Some people say certain things and post certain things on Twitter, Instagram. They've gotten crazy with it. Even YouTube is crazy. If it seems like if you try to put something positive on YouTube, they'll block you, but you can go and look up a video on how to, do fellatio on a man. They don't have the actual thing, but they have objects to give you demonstrations. But you can't speak something that needs to be said without getting flagged or somebody getting offended and reporting your channel. That's way out. But back to what I was saying, I want to stay focused, okay? So, like I said, after you get your kids back, you can post whatever you want, but I would advise you not to post anything, because they could turn around and open up another case against you and say they didn't close the case all the way yet, or they can give you the assumption that the case is all the way closed, and then all of a sudden here you are in trouble getting your parental rights stripped away. So I say again, please privatize your social media and make sure you are and have been responsible with all your posting. Be responsible. We're not children. We are adults. Don't you know that children are sponges? They are soaking up everything that we see, say, and do. So if you're an internet bully or an internet gangbanger or an internet thought, don't just believe that your kids are going to see that in the future, and then they're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Okay? If you are and have been in verbal disputes showing violence, being inappropriate in any type of fashion on the social media platform, like I said, you need to be concerned and clean up your act. This can and most likely will be used against you. Make sure that your kids are not venting frustration or making false statements against you on social media. This can also be used against you as well. And something, when I was researching, somebody had said something to me. They said when they said they used to be a social worker, and they used open-ended questions and closed-ended questions. And I found I've never like really heard of that before, so it kind of made me go and do the research on what is that, because I've never heard of it before. So um, an open-ended question is one that requires you a thoughtful response from the person that is being asked a question. So that's something that you probably have to think about. Okay. um, and it's a difference from a closed-ended question. The closed-ended question is like a simple yes or a simple no. And I'm glad that person told me about that, because I would have never known these are the techniques that CPS use. Like he said, he's been a CPS worker, and the young lady said that she was a CPS worker for a while as well. So the open-ended question is something like this: what happened? Okay. And then the close-ended question would be like this: did such when did this happen, or did such and such do this? You know what I'm saying? Or did this happen there? Or did it happen over there? Oh, when you went over there, that's when it happened. Those are closed-ended questions. So I'm gonna give you an example of one that I found, and it says open-ended questions are taught in professional settings, and that's how they use it. They use this particular technique to learn information about people, jobs, businesses, anything that they are going to do business with, anybody too. And they use it in CPS as well. So I hope I'm not confusing anybody, because I'm trying to stay on track. So let me continue with that. So they say most people, um, unfortunately, most people don't know the importance of using this skill when dealing with a CPS social worker and talking to them. They get you to open to the CPS worker uses open-ended questions. My notes are all over the place, so please forgive me, you guys. So the CPS worker uses open-ended questions to get you to answer questions for them, and you don't realize that this is the techniques that they are using. And so I'm gonna give you an example that somebody get. Oops, Lord Jesus, help me! I'm telling you, this computer be giving me the blues sometimes. Okay, hold on. So let me finish. Hold on a second. So I got a couple of questions that somebody was giving me an example of, and one of them was, um, how did your lip get busted? How did you get that bruise on you? How did you break your arm or your rib? Those are some questions that they'll ask you. Okay, those are open-ended questions. This computer is making me so upset. So this is the closed-ended question that they gave me an example. Okay, did someone punch you? Did he or she push you down? Were you arguing when that happened? What was the result of the argument? What happened after you guys were arguing? What happened next? Did he push you? Did she push you? Was he or she drinking at the time? Those are the closed-ended questions that they want you to answer. And like I said, the open-ended one was, how did you get that busted lip? How did you break your rib? How did you break your arm? Those are open-ended. They use those types of questions. So how did your kid get that bruise on that knot on his head? Oh, so how did Timmy get that scar on his knee? Oh, oh, did his dad push him down? So that's how they get you, you know. So that's how come you got to be careful when they start questioning you. They're using that technique, the open-ended and closed-ended question. And then the best way to deal with these questions is don't really play too silly. Like just dummy it down. Like not don't make it so obvious. Maybe you can keep them, talking by pretending not to understand their question or cause them to reduce the amount of questions that they're asking you. Okay, so see, example is like CPS worker will say, "Can you explain what happened?" And then you go like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And they'll be like, I need you to tell me what happened to you or what happened to the child. And then you turn around like, concerning what? What you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean what happened to the child? And then they were like, it was reported to 911 that Bobo did such and such to you and did such and such to, I just threw some names in there, honk and beep. And you go, huh? No, that never happened. So now they're sitting there looking like, wait a minute. Okay, so that's how you handle that situation. So you want to make sure that you don't be like, oh yeah, and this and girl and this and he and that. No, 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 no. That's what I mean by you trying to defend yourself and you're trying to talk way too much in order to state your case. You don't want to do that. Hi. I didn't see you. I was on another page. Hi, Tatiana. Hi. How you doing? Thank you for coming. So CPS will ask questions to get an admission of something. Yeah, they will try to trick you. That's what I said. They will use this technique called open-ended question and closed-ended question. Like for instance, yeah, they use that technique all the time, and a lot of people they like to catch you when you're emotional, and they'll ask you, and you'll tend to answer the question. So that's why I say I need people to be very quiet, not to say anything. You know, the less you say, if you say absolutely nothing, first of all, it's going to piss them off because they have nothing to write, and they have nothing to write a lie about. So they're going to ask, like, if somebody say you abused your kid and say your son was outside, um, skating and he fell down. And so you hear a knock at the door and you see your kid. If you're so fortunate to have your ring always recording action and your son runs up to the door crying and his friends are behind him like he fell down when he was riding his bike. So that footage can help you. And so when they come and say, what happened to your son, they're basically kind of trying to say that your son didn't really fall down, you did it to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be careful. And that's why people got to listen to the questions that they're asking and not being so quick to answer. You got to listen. Like, what do you mean? And make sure that you keep your video camera on them at all time and yourself. No, my son was outside playing. And so what you might want to do is, like, say your friends, the kids' friends come in, you go grab your video camera and you record. You like, hey, what happened? And then you got the kids on the video. Oh, when we was at the park, he was riding. He was trying to do a trick, and he did the trick wrong, and he fell down and he hurt himself. And they're still talking. So you keep the camera right there, recording the whole interaction while you're cleaning your kid up. Like, oh wow, and they're going to repeat it. Of course, kids are going to keep repeating. So when they see that bruise and they call CPS and say there's abuse, you go and you call a CPS attorney right away, and you take that same exact footage and you give it to your CPS attorney, and your CPS attorney will present that evidence in court. So when she writes down that you did it, that video that they present in court as evidence will oh Lord, what's the word? Oh my God, hold on a second. Let me see. I wrote the word down. I'm so sorry, you guys. I be getting so sidetracked, and I need to stop doing that. I got so many notes. Let me see if I can find the word I'm looking for. Hey, you gonna have to turn that down, Shorty. You were oh, her credibility will be shot. That's what I was trying to say. The credibility of the social worker will be shot to crap. You get what I'm saying? Because now she done wrote all this stuff and said that you abused your kids, but yet and still you got this video proving that your kid fell down. So that's to answer your question. And so one another thing that you want to do always, even if you're not feeling that, but don't fake it, but don't say nothing. I want you to remember the CPS worker, they're not your psychiatrist, and they're not your therapist. So do not try to lean on these people as though they are your psychiatrist or your therapist. They are not there to help you. But if you start leaning on them like they're your therapist or your psychiatrist, they're going to take all that information and use it against you to destroy you in the court. Okay? So what you really want to focus on when you're dealing with them is all the positive things in your life. Like, for instance, if you decided to go back to school and get yourself a degree in the area in which you want to specialize in, make sure that you get doctor notes to state that your kids are doing well. Maybe you could talk about, the plans that you have for an upcoming event, like a celebration of some sort. Anything that's positive that you could talk about. Continue to throw out positivity, because they just want to hear negativity. So you be very positive, talk about good things around them, because as soon as you start talking negative, they're going to start writing things down against you and saying that you're unemotionally stable. You don't want them to do that to you. You want to stay absolutely positive at all times. This might be difficult to do in the face of an abuse allegation. Being in the middle of that allegation, it might be hard for you to do, but you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Pick yourself up. You can do it. Just know that you can do it. All right. So it's important, because people who focus on positive things tend to appear much stronger and more in control of the situation that they're going through. But they like to make you a victim, especially if you are going through a hard time. They want you to become a victim, and if they can turn you into a victim, they will turn you into prey. And they love to prey on people that have issues, that are going through difficulties, so that they can write that down and say that you're not stable enough to be in your kid's life. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. I need to take care of something really quick. Let me see if I could do this real quick. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to take care of something really quick. I apologize. Thank you for hanging on. I appreciate you for that. So let's talk about this. So if a CPS worker questions you, okay, about how you're feeling, all right? So what you want to say, if a CPS worker question you, your answer should be, I have a lot of support. My sister, my mom helps me when I need it. This is a good reason for them not to take your kids, you guys, especially if they feel like you have support. This is part of the positivity. So if you say, oh, no, I don't have nobody to help me, I'm all by myself, I don't have no friends, I don't have no family, I don't have anything, guess what? It makes it so much easier for them to take your kids out of your home, and they will make your life a living hell because they feel like you're not going to be stable enough to help your kids or support your children. You don't have a support system, so you're all by yourself. So don't ever do that. Don't ever tell them that you don't have support. You know, you can say, yeah, I have my church. I have my church family. They're supportive. Don't say anything negative. They will use it against you, and they will write it up in their report, and they will present it in court. Okay, so it's your choice on what you want to say to the worker. But if you want to get your kids back, don't use anything negative. Don't say nothing. You need to demonstrate that your child is safe and well cared for. Don't bash your ex or talk about how bad your antidepressants make you feel, because the CPS will write all that stuff down. And besides, the CPS worker is not your therapist. If you feel that you feel that you need to talk to someone, you need to go ahead and talk to your therapist and not use them, because they will play the role and you will lose out and you will be really upset trying to figure out what the heck happened, okay? And the CPS workers, they love to speak on negative things. So please continue and always speak positive no matter what. Okay? Always speak positive. Don't come in with a negative Nancy. That's what I call, because that negative Nancy will cost you everything. Okay, and make sure that you demonstrate that you are capable of being a loving parent. Okay, the better you can make yourself look by expressing the positivity in your life, the better you will be perceived. This is especially important in front of anybody who is making decisions regarding your rights to a parent. I mean, to a child that you're a parent to. Okay, so I'm trying to read my notes off fast. And this one is important. There's a way that you can actually lose your rights, you guys. All right. I don't have much of an audience today. That's okay. Somebody will look at it later. Um, Here's a reason that a lawyer will not be able to help you, and you need to understand this. One of the reasons a lawyer will not be able to help you is, first of all, any papers that you are given by the CPS investigators do not respond or follow instructions. That's one. Any unopened mail or unread mail from DHHS means you did not take the time to open and read the mail sent to you. This may result in you missing a very important evaluation that had been set up, and now the worker has now threatened to remove the kid. So, in that means, what I'm saying is, if you get any type of papers from CPS, you go through those papers, you read those papers, you make sure that you give a copy to your lawyer. You don't just take the paper and sit it aside. You get mail from them. Don't get to a place where you're like, man, I ain't got to read that. I don't care about that, because you're going to end up losing your children. You have to read everything. You have to follow all procedures. If you don't know how to read, and or you're dyslexic, if you need to articulate that to your lawyer and let him know that you are dyslexic, your comprehension is not that well, that does not have anything to do with you being a good parent. But you need to keep all appointments. Every appointment that there is, you need to make sure that you keep it. Not only that, when you get any type of paperwork, I'm gonna say this, and I said it before. Please, 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 And they have like those dividers, sectional dividers with little tabs on it. So what you want to do is number one, you want to create yourself a phone book, okay, not a big book, but for that section two, you want to create yourself a schedule for all your appointments, like a schedule and a calendar. You know, you want to create yourself a memo pad so that you can write down all the times that you called or attempted to call your social worker. You want to keep a file on all the correspondences that you have, okay, and that you made. You want to keep a, like, you want to make sure that you write down, like, you calling the receptionist, um, and all you're getting is the receptionist at your social worker's office. You write down each and every name of the person. You write down that they have an operator number. You write down the time you called. You write down what you said versus what the individual said. You write down what time you left the message. Even if you have to write down what the message says every time you call, like you have such and such office and say, I left a message there. You have to be very, very specific and very, very detailed when it comes to that. Make sure that if you're spending any money, like say you're responding back to them with certification cards, make sure that you're keeping all those green cards. Make sure that you don't throw anything away. If you're doing overnight postage, make sure you keep all that. If you're doing any medical reports, make sure you have all those in order. When I'm saying make sure that everything is so intact that when you are in court and your lawyer asks you to give up any type of information, it will be just a flip of a thumb and you have the information prepared and ready. If you have to go out and fax a copy of something, make sure you take the entire book with you just in case they need something else or there's something else that, like a new piece of mail came to the door, you send that to the lawyer as well. You stay on top of it. Help them. Keep providing them with the information that they need. Because when those faxes come through, it's going to be time stamped and dated, and they're going to see that you did a lot of footwork yourself. Don't just allow your lawyer to be doing all the work by himself, because it's going to be very hard for your lawyer. You got to get on the ball. You got to get your stuff together. You have to create those files. That one big notebook. If it's a big notebook and you got so much to get another notebook and keep everything in order. You know, so when you present that notebook before your lawyer will see and he may be able to say, okay, let me make a copy of, the book. You may not want to read your book because, sometimes things get lost, but you can actually say, well, let me make the copy. That way you know exactly where your stuff belongs. Or if you have a copy machine of your own at your home, then you can make those copies and you can build those copies certified to your lawyer so that they can have all the information that is needed. So there are multiple ways that you can provide your lawyer with information that is needed and documents as well. So I didn't want this to be a long, drug out video, and I know a lot of my other people are at work. They probably didn't get the notification. But Monica, I really appreciate you for being here, Tatiana. I appreciate you, Tamaya. I appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I was going to play a song, but I'm going to go ahead and pray out real quick. Father God, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, your Son, who died on the cross for our sins, I'm asking that you would touch every soul that listens to this live, whether it be now or later. I'm asking that you will meet them at the need where they are, Father God, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I'm asking that you will bless them from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. Father God, if they're going through anything with CPS, I'm asking you right now. Father, I'm asking that you would give them the peace that surpasses all understanding so that they are not frazzled, so they are not discombobulated, because this could be a hard and trying time, Father God. A lot of people don't understand that when you're faced with certain situations that you've never been a part of, it can be hurtful, it can be scary. So I'm asking that you would take away the fear, because you said you do not give us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And I'm asking that you would give every person a sound mind, even if they're not going through God, so that they can walk into your kingdom and so they can walk into the blessings, Father God, that you have for them. I'm asking you that they will not fight against the spirit, that their flesh will quiet down and allow you to take charge in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I'm asking, Father God, if they have a financial shortage and they need some things, I'm asking that the doors will open. Send an unexpected blessing through their doors so that they can take care of the things that they need to take care of. If they're lacking in any area, if they're lacking in their prayer life, I'm asking that you will put praise upon their tongue, praise upon their lips, oh God. I'm asking that you will put praise in their hearts, Father God. Even now, Father, as we are touching in the street, you said when there are two or three gathered, there you are in the midst of things, Lord. And I thank you right now in advance, Father God. I'm asking right now that you will protect them, even as they get in and out of transportation, whether it's theirs, government transportation, or whatever it is, Father. I'm asking that you will cover that car with your garrison of angels so that they can get to and from without any harm, hurt, and danger. If there are accidents on the roads and the freeways and the byways and the highways as they're driving by, Father, I ask that you would send comfort and peace to those situations in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Father God, if they are concerned about their utility bills being cut off, if they're concerned about being thrown out evicted, not having a place to lay their head, I'm asking you right now, Father God, to open up miracles and blessings and signs and wonders for them, Father God, so that they can know that it is you that answers those prayers for them. If they're dealing with any type of mental, physical, spiritual abuse from anybody, whether it be their loved ones, whether it be their family, whether it be their children, anybody that is causing them to not feel secure in their own homes, in their own environment, I'm asking you right now that your wings from heaven will shadow them and cover them and carry them through, Father God. Even in the midnight hour when they're sleeping in slumber, I'm asking that the Holy Spirit and you will visit them in the nighttime while they're sleeping and minister to their spirit man, Father God. I'm asking you right now in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, that all will be well within their lives, oh God. No matter what it is, Father God, I'm asking that you will mend relationships because you are a God of peace, oh God. If those relationships were healthy and things happened that tore apart, healthy relationships, if there needs to be forgiveness, Lord, I ask that the spirit of forgiveness will fall upon those that have been separated by unforgiveness. Lord, I ask that we will look and understand that nobody's perfect. Let us not judge the individual itself, Father God, but look at the spirit behind the person, oh God. Because most of the time it's a spiritual attack, and we attack at the person, and the person don't even recognize, Father God, that they are being used by the enemy. So we tend to lash out at the person instead of asking you to expose what's behind the situation. So, Lord, I'm asking that you will go into every CPS office across this world, and I ask that you will go in and tear up everything that is not like you, every law that has been created to destroy and disrupt families. I'm asking that the angels will go in and destroy every hidden secret, every lie, every corruption, any hatred, every demonic agreement that was made behind stealing kids out of homes. I'm asking that you will move by your spirit, even if you try to come after people that are speaking out. I'm asking that you will put up a guard against it, Father God. That you will put up a force field. They try to do anything, Father God. I ask that you will stop them in their tracks and show them that touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. Don't touch my child. Don't mess with them. They're doing my work. They're doing kingdom work. So, Father, I'm asking you to protect all of us that are speaking up and giving people information on how to fight back. I'm asking that you, God, will have control of every situation, God. I don't care how deep they think they are and how bad and how tough they are. God, nobody could ever beat you. Nobody can ever stand up against you. Nobody can ever shoot you down because you are the Almighty God. You create everything and everybody. And Father, I thank you in advance, and I'm asking that Jesus' blood will cover every home, every situation, every file that's in the court, every file that is involved, every phone call. If they are